Father Tom, and I want to thank you so much for this venue and your hospitality. And we're on the tour of the C.L. Gray, Dr. Gray, and myself. And you are basically our test pilots because we are considering launching a nationwide tour of this particular message. Friends, it is important for you to understand one thing. There is an end game to everything that is going on here. We're going to show, this won't be a part of the tour, but we're taking this break here to show a little bit of what I'm doing as far as the film industry is concerned. But I want to link what I'm about to show you to what Claire and I are actually about. You see, there is a design on our young. And there's a design on you as well. Right now, nearly 95% of African Americans believe in a particular ideology. Only 13% of the population. Doesn't make that much difference. About 85% of Latinos believe in a certain ideology. They representing only 14% of the population. Doesn't make that much difference. In 20 years, it is said that Americans who hold dear to traditional American principles, in other words, who are totally dedicated to preserving what we know as the American lifestyle, who are loyal to America. In 20 years, we who believe that will be in a minority. For many have slipped in among you who have brought in immorality, in ungodliness. Many have deceived you while we slept as Christians so many times. The enemy has slept in, crept in, and has planted seeds in the minds of our children. But what you and I have traditionally held to, if our grandparents would come back today and hear some of the conversations that we're talking about in Washington, D.C., they would wonder, what is going on here? If our grandparents, our parents could come back today and listen not to the Dan Rathers, not to the Walter Cronkites, not to the Edward R. Morrows, but they could listen to the Katie Courics and the Bill Mahers in society today. If they could hear the type of things that we're talking about voting on, and some of us are entertaining voting on them in an affirmative way, they would wonder what has happened to our minds. And then they would wonder, is the Republic still existing? Friends, it can go away. It can go away not from without. America has always survived any onslaught from without because we as Americans have always band together to defend the Republic. We've always repelled any enemies from without. There are new enemies, friends. There's a new poison that Claire talks about, friends, that is destroying us from within. Oh, we dance in the fields through the flowers, thinking that America is a place where every ideology should be on display for everyone to enjoy their way of life. There was a place called Sodom. In the Old Testament, Genesis 19 and 4. You read it for yourself. It will tell you something. It will tell you in that 4th chapter that night when the men, both young and old, of the city of Sodom,
came and knocked on Lot's door saying, we know that there's some other men in there and we want to know them. We want to have sex with them. It said that not only were the men young and old, it said that everybody from every quarter came. And you know the amazing thing about that story? Is that here was a citizen of that city whose house was under assault. And no policeman, no constable, no sheriff came to disperse the crowd. Why? Because it had become a part of the culture. And evidently God didn't like it. The end game? Not to just capture the minds of black folks, but once they capture the minds of those 15 to 40-year-old white people in this country, game over.